Alright, y'all, so I have a little bit of a thought going on right now, and I just wanted to make this video to express that thought because I listened to, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I listened to horoscopes, okay? Astrology. I took a class on this also when I was in university. Cosmetology, okay? It's not called astrology, but regardless, it has to do with the stars, right? This is how people come up with this stuff. So I was listening to a horoscope. I'm not gonna say if it was mine or not, okay? I'll leave that for the mystery. But this was speaking specifically about the types of men, how they're, well, this specific type of man is like somebody who seeks out the type of people, or, you know, usually women who need help, right? That need like a hand up. So I think this is what men don't understand, and then where women are kind of conflicted, at least from my perception. Listen, guys, when you're in a long-term commitment, the woman you're with, whether she's independent or codependent of you, you can still help an independent woman, okay? You may not be needing to give her the basic necessities that a woman needs to reach that level of independence, but there's more to upgrade after you reach independence, okay? You can never make too much money. You can never reach a point that there's no more growth to go past this. So I think this is what a lot of people don't understand of like long-term commitments, or even like the concept of marriage, because a lot of men, what they, and this is probably like a self-esteem issue with men, honestly, like this is what I'm coming to a conclusion now, that this has to do with men's self-esteem and them feeling needed by the woman, because when you are not independent, you're codependent, you come off as somebody who needs a man, like for financial purposes or whatever other reason it may be, right? So there's nothing wrong with that, because you can need support and help. I have a problem with those types of women though, when you aren't willing to like better yourself and you just want a man to take care of you. I mean, that's cool if like that's the agreement between you and the man, like you're just gonna be a stay-at-home girlfriend and like do whatever the hell you want. But then you have other types of men that see a woman's potential and they will feed into the help to give a woman that help so she becomes more than she already is. And then you have the men who, once they help women get to a level of where they came from codependency and then led to independence, and then they don't no longer want to help, they want to go and look for the next thing that is going to make them feel like the hero, okay? So I mean, I don't think guys realize, like, and this is why I have a problem with like sleeping around culture, or like having multiple women culture. I don't know where this comes from, but you know, it's been historically like that in a lot of cases. It's not just like a modern society thing, okay? But having like, when you have so much wealth that you try to give it to a lot of other women, and I mean wealth in like the type of person you are, like personal growth, or even monetarily, like there's multiple ways that you can look at what it means to be wealthy. It could also be, you know, in your health itself. I mean, you know, guys, like when it comes to reproduction, somebody who's healthy is going to reproduce a lot more. I mean, I can give you an example of somebody who's like really wealthy, like Elon Musk. Yeah, he has like a bunch of kids with other women, right? I think like the area of Africa where he's from is more influenced from like Portugal type of thing. I mean, you could even see this in Cristiano Ronaldo's life. Like all of the women that he's been with and the people who he has had children with. And now we see, you know, he's finally like kind of settling down with Georgina Rodriguez. Okay, that's just an example of like people we know like are celebrities out there. Yeah, so some women will accept that, some won't. There's also, like, for me, I don't think men realize that you don't need to have multiple women, okay? You can have one woman, and there could be, like, 20 different women in that one woman. What I mean by that is one woman can change a lot, that you don't need to go find all these other bimbos to fulfill some sort of need that you need. If it's either for your ego. I don't know who said that, you know, having all these girls is like cool. You know, that's like what players do. I don't think players are very attractive personally. Yeah, even though they're very like charismatic and, you know, they just know how to like play with their words and all this other stuff, like, yeah, that's cool. But then when you notice that you're not really the only one anymore, it's a turn off. At least I would think, you know, some women observe it in that sense. At least I would think high quality women, because if you're okay with sexually sharing somebody else just because they're providing financial stuff for you or whatever reason, like, to me that looks like low self-esteem. I may be wrong, but personally I'll go get a job before I tolerate any of that stuff. And, you know, I think historically speaking, I've stuck to that truth. I've gone through really harsh situations after leaving people that disrespected me, where I went from basically having everything fine in my, if you want to call it like somewhat independence, and then just forgetting about myself. And that was very unattractive to them, because in the position they wanted me in, to just be like this, oh, you're so fragile, like you shouldn't be doing anything in life, like you're not this ambitious woman, they were no longer attracted to me. So it was like flipping the role for something else that I will never put myself in one of those situations again. I will walk away with my dignity and self-respect before I go into that ever again. So, I mean, you know, the guys that are smart will probably realize this. I don't have to speak about this, but I think it's something, you know, that was just kind of marinating in my thoughts today for whatever reason. And I was just like, you know what, this is interesting, seeing in society what you can find, the types of guys that you find. Yeah, because I think a lot of people, like, even when you're not looking for anything, like, you're kind of like still subconsciously like paying attention to your surroundings, and because you just never know when you're gonna meet the love of your life, you know. So yeah, that is one of the things I was thinking about today, and the types of men women attract, because, you know, we live in a pretty abundant society where just about anybody has money. I mean, unless you're like on the street, and even then sometimes you really can't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, but, you know, you could either love a woman thousands of ways, or you can love thousands of women. So which one you want to choose, that's on you. But you're probably not going to get very, I want to say, decent women when you have multiple women, because they are not actually with you for the right reasons. Okay, and if they're the types that don't know about each other, then that sucks. But if you have a group of women that know about each other and they're okay with this behavior, I am not sure what type of thing you're living. But I say this because I find it that it's like really hard to find people nowadays to actually be like monogamous or not have, you know, like this looking at through the corner of my eye at somebody else. That's a turn off for me, you know. Call it insecurity if you want, but to me it's validation that, you know what, their loyalty comes first before their desire and lust in that sense, because loyalty goes a long way too. It really does, if you actually, you know how to keep the relationship alive. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go now. I need to go tend to some business matters. And it's nice and rainy outside. We need the rain. I just don't like how my windows fog up so much when it rains. Anyway, y'all, I hope that leaves you with some tips on, you know, focusing on what type of man or woman you are looking for in this crazy society that we live in. By crazy, I just mean there's so much diversity in beliefs that it's really difficult to find some things. And, you know, maybe this is why like churches were created and stuff like that, so you go into something and meet people there that have similar stuff. But like I've said in the past, there is very much a culture of groupthink where, you know, you don't have other perspectives. So this is why I kind of just like living differently in different, like around different types of groups of people that have different belief systems, but also, you know, being very, or having that integrity towards solidifying the values that I actually want to live my life by. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna go. I hope y'all have a good night. Stay safe, and if you're on the road like myself, make sure to drive safe and try not to get into any car accidents. Okay, y'all have a good one. Maybe I'll see y'all at the gym. I don't even know if anybody watches my videos actually from the gym I go to, but that would be kind of interesting to know. All right, bye people.